Hey, hey, how's it going? My name is Jeremy Panasuk. I'm applying to the Department of Government Efficiency. This is just a one-time video. Didn't plan it at all. Been thinking about it since I heard about applying for Doge. I didn't know how to do it, but figured I would have a video and see what happens. So I'm a Rimworld player, so I'm just gonna have Rimworld up here in the background while we go through everything. Yeah, so uh, I started my career in 2004, and started at Cargill. And then Cargill, huge multi-conglomerate uh, food and agricultural business, and yeah, I learned a lot there. Had my first programming gig there with a software called Informatica, and it was pretty cool. Learned a lot, um, and then went to Prime Therapeutics where I was doing some programming, managing some data warehouse stuff. Became an expert in Medicare Part D because I was the BA for the Medicare Part D application inside the business. So that was pretty cool. And became an expert in that. Actually taught the incoming resources on the business side how the program works. So I really took a deep dive into everything and really understood what was going on. Understood the donut hole and all sorts of different things about Medicare. Part D. I was still working with a program called Informatica, and they're actually a software company in Silicon Valley over in Redwood, on Seaport Boulevard in Redwood City. And they are really, it was a really great company to work for. I worked there for 11 years. I started as an analyst, and I started consulting for a company out in Michigan, Don Foods, where we created a real-time data warehouse using the Informatica software. And I was written up online for it. Got a note on informatica.com about that, about the success there. It was a year-long project, and then after a year, I went to a company called MF Global. You might know MF Global. They're the seventh largest bankruptcy in the U.S. They had a rogue trader using uh, company money, and they were on the wrong side of the trade and got caught underneath it. And then John Corzine came in, of course, the former New Jersey governor, and came in and tried to right the ship. Unfortunately, he started using company funds or customer funds for corporate trading, which is huge no-no, of course. I worked there up until the bankruptcy, and then was basically level 4 support. I was working with on the Informatica side. I was working with global customer support to resolve issues. And I was also an expert developer by that point. I had over 5 years of experience in doing development. So I was basically a I became a senior analyst by the time I left MF Global, and that was really cool. Um, but as level 4 support, managed the infrastructure of the Informatica program, upgrades, installs. It was one of the first great HA installations in the world for the Informatica product. So that was really cool, really cutting edge stuff. And also helped build a DR scenario for the Informatica product, which was really cool. So learned a lot there, learned a lot about infrastructure, a lot about managing I don't want to say, I want to say like companies like TCS and Infosys. Learned a lot about managing their resources and how they work. So it was a really interesting gig. That lasted till 2012, and then in 2012 I started traveling full time for work again, going all over the country, installing and configuring the Informatica software, laying the groundwork for the business intelligence programs across these different companies, from small mom and pop shops to large multinational corporations with great HA installations. Um, I worked with our CEO and president, Sohaib Abbasai, at Unit Bank in New York Mellon to resolve their grid HA issues. And that was fun. And so I was working probably with travel, it was 80 to 100 hours a week. I did that for about 6 years, working at different companies. I finally burned out, flamed out, and just crashed hard. Crashed hard. And so I spent the next 2 years getting healthy, and then went back to work at a company called Moby, and there I was just doing programming work. So I had a mixed bag. Kind of went all the way up to program manager level at Informatica, and so I've been in the weeds. I've been at the top of the top of the food chain where you're sending consultants and managing the relationship with the customer. I have all sorts of different skills, soft skills like selling. I can send you some presentations if you'd like, and I'd really like you to review them and let you know what you think about my presentation skills. I think I'm really one of the best presenters, and you'll see that in my presentation style. So I didn't know what you're looking for besides, really maybe rugged individualism or patriotic duty. I have both those in spades. Both rugged individualism. I started following Ron Paul in 2004 and read his books, and the Fed and Liberty. I can't remember what the full name of the book is. Liberty, Life is Liberty, something along those lines. Anyway, read those books in 2004, 2008, and 2010. And yeah, I really found that I loved Ron Paul, but obviously the machine, he didn't get elected, and so I guess that's how we got Donald Trump. It seems. So anyway, I really like that. I'm just gonna play the game and talk about some of my experience uh, with different companies and what I did, and maybe that'll interest you, maybe not. I hope it does. Yeah, so here's the game. We got Eric. This guy is crazy. He's a Titan. He's wild. He's the biggest guy in the game here. I implanted these genome in him to give him a Titan frame, all sorts of crazy Halo. This game is pretty fun. I've been playing it for 10 years. I have over 9,000 hours in it. Looks like we're running out of power. No, I don't know if I'm going to fix that right now, but anyway. The first project I want to talk about is in 2014. I worked at a new federal credit union. That time I was like a delivery manager at Informatica, and the new federal credit union went out and bought the Informatica software suite, kind of a bunch of products in a bundle that they bought to extract information out of their systems and load it into a huge BI data warehouse so that they could, do BI type stuff, scientific analysis, and all sorts of crazy things that they do with this data. And so I went in, landed, and it was a 3,000-hour project. We got it done in 2,000 hours, mostly because I managed the project, did the accounting for it, managed the relationship with the customer, and implemented the software and trained those companies' resources on how to implement and become basically really good administrators and developers. So that was really fun, and I got to build the ground up. It's fun being part of a cool team, a team that wanted to win, a team that, was dynamic and uh, multicultural, and so it was really fun. And the funnest part was giving back 1,000 hours to the customer, and so that was really cool to be able to give that many hours back to the customer so that they could use on a future project. Um, it's always fun when you win like that. It's always fun when you win like that, and those are the kind of wins that I could bring to Doge. So, yeah. The next project I think I could talk about would be talked about MF Global, talked about Navy Fed. I guess I could talk about Micron. Micron was a project that they bought. They again bought our entire product suite, the Big Data Edition, the Informatica Big Data Edition, which is the Informatica Data Engineering, which is Data Engineering Cloud now. And so that was really cool to implement that software at uh, Micron, and I was the project manager, so I only managed the project. And I had a great team. Pete Henney over at Teradata worked with me on that, and so it was a really fun project. I almost won Consultant of the Year for it, but didn't win it. Unfortunately, someone else won. I was really happy for them though, and they're part of my team, so that was really cool. I was also a consulting manager while at Informatica. So meanwhile, I was delivering these projects and being a project manager, I also managed a team of consultants, uh, from between 7 and 10 consultants all at the same time, while managing these projects. So I was responsible for their career and uh, career progression and salary raises, reviews, all that stuff. I also went on hiring campaigns with our IPS team. We hired out of San Diego State University, or it was off Yohala Boulevard. No, Southern California University, something SDCU. I don't remember. It was somewhere down over there. Out Yohala. Anyway, it was really fun and got to meet and greet students and decide on their employment with Informatica. So that was really cool to have my input taken seriously by management team. Another thing that I did while working in Informatica was I worked with RMs on creating statements of work. So estimating the project timeline, creating the tasks and durations, creating or advising on what type of consultant you need to deliver the project, and then also responsible for helping with resourcing and picking teammates to go on projects. That was really fun. If you have any questions I'd like to know, you can put them. You can email me. I'm sure you can find it, or DM me on Twitter. Uh, anyway, I thought that's just some good highlights of my career. But again, I do have practical programming experience. I do have practical project management experience and delivering. And even on the Micron project, we gave Teradata back 1,000 hours from our statement of work that they used because they needed it to deliver on their end of the statement of work. So I was really proud about those projects, and even the Micron project had tons of extensions worth millions of dollars. So yeah, I think that's a good chat for now. 15, 20 minutes. And anyway, I don't know. I've been thinking that must might be the best way to get a hold of you guys, but maybe I'll send my resume over in image form. Anyway, all right. Thanks a lot. Deuces, guys.